Being the only learning disability nurse for the whole trust, having Learning Disability Champions is a supportive network of people who can help drive the equitable message further. So in my absence, they will be the go-to people to ask for advice, ask for information, ask for the right pathways to follow.
I've been qualified 21 years, and throughout my career, and even while I was training, I did some voluntary work with individuals with learning disabilities, so I've always had a bit of an interest. And then when I came to the Trust 3 years ago, I'd got a particular skill which is to do with Portakaf, so I got involved with individuals with complex learning disabilities, and as a result our wards, because they have so many respiratory problems, I've had quite a few individuals that have with learning disabilities that have come onto our ward, and we've been on a journey and we continue to be on that journey.
It was due to looking after a patient recently with Down syndrome, and an older lady. It took me 12 hours, so a 12-hour shift to build up a relationship with her. She wanted nothing to do with me at the start of the shift, and by the end of the shift she was crying that I was leaving, and I didn't want to go at that point. So I suppose it just made me, I don't know, be aware and wanting me to learn more, and just assessing the way I communicate with her, and if there was more I could have done. So that was an eye-opener, and that's what made me do it.
I want to be a learning disability champion because I can support people in the way that they need it in the endoscopy department. It's a scary environment, and most people find it difficult. I just want to be there for them.
I'm extremely proud of the fact that I have networks within the local community, and the day services are one of them. So Ashfield Day Services were really on board with wanting to provide information stalls and knowing what it's like to be in a person's shoes with a learning disability. And they jumped on board for this. They was like, this has never been done, we really want to do a role reversal. The service users would absolutely love it. We went out, we had 3 stations. The first station was a nutrition station. So 30% of people with learning disabilities will have visual impairments. So we did actually blindfold the champions, and the people with learning disabilities within the day service actually got to feed them without giving them any instructions, without knowing what the food was, without asking for consent. The second station was around communication. So what is it like to only be able to say a few amount of words? The body language from some of the learning disability champions there was absolutely outstanding, to say the least, but it made them realise that just by not having a vast verbal communication doesn't mean that you lack consent. It's about looking at alternative methods of communication. And then the final station was around staff approach. So what is it like to be a patient in a side room with no staff, seeing all the traffic that goes through the ward, only being popped in to have the meals or the medications or the observations done, listening to all the hustle and bustle around them. And the champions got to feel what that felt like. And again, the body language, it just spoke 1,000 words, basically.
The training, initially I was very anxious, a bit worried what I was going to find, what I was going to see. Everybody was really friendly. Everybody was caring and warm, and opened their arms to us in their own environment. The biggest thing that I've learned from this morning is that people are all individuals, whether they've got learning disabilities or not. They don't all have to have physical, it can be mental, and they all want to please people, which is nice.
What I will take away from it is I'm going to reflect on the way I look after my patients, be aware of their environment, what they're going through, and how I communicate with them, and making others aware who I work with in my team.
I just really wanted to make the experience for our patients with learning disabilities a better experience, and just make that journey and that admission when they come into hospital, just make it easier. It must be absolutely terrifying when for anybody coming into hospital, but if you've got, you know, quite complex needs, if you're not able to communicate, if you're in that busy foreign environment. I just wanted to make it, you know, a little bit better and make them come away with a better experience, really.
After today's event, I'd like to say what an absolutely fantastic insight into health services and working with Kingsmill and what we actually know and what we don't know about our clients when they're in their healthcare setting. I think by delivering a person-centred approach and by knowledge sharing and not assuming that one size fits all, we can share information along with health services and day services, and we can get more positive outcomes for people with disability in hospital, which would be just amazing. Thank you.
I think this whole collaborative approach to the role reversal, the learning disability champions have had to undergo in their initiation. I think it's not only given some power to people with learning disabilities, but actually to the staff themselves, to make them realise that they do have the skills, they do have the initiatives to be able to go through and just make a real difference.
If you want to be a learning disability champion and you want to give your best, just go for it. Just give your love and your care and your attention and provide a safe and community care for them. They all want to make you feel welcome. If you make them feel welcome, they'll make you feel welcome.